We go to the 5th inning at Irvin Park. Maroa-Forsyth leading the Warriors 7-0. Clayton Zills will lead off for the Trojans. First pitch by Clayton Turner, line shot to left field, and it gets past the left fielder. Austin Martin. Zills is going to go into second. He's going to make the turn and hold up there on a base hit.
Clayton Zills gets a base hit to left.
And an error on the left fielder. Austin Martin didn't get the glove down far enough, and the ball rolled under it and behind him. That's the second hit for Zills this afternoon, the third time he's been on base. And the batter will be the third baseman, Blake Bryan. First pitch, skied high on the left side. Shortstop Nick Bates gets under it and makes the catch.
Blake Bryan pops up to the shortstop for the first out of the inning.
Substitution for Tuscola,
Colin Richards.
Blake Woodard, number 13, coming in at third base, replacing Devin Rose. He'll bat in the second spot in the order. And with one out and a runner at second, the batter is Colin Richards, the second baseman for Maroa-Forsyth. First pitch fouled off to the first base side. Richards has been the designated sacrifice man for Maroa-Forsyth. He's done that twice. Now look back at the runner. Nobody covering, so Zills walks back to the bag. One strike to count to Richards. Zills at second with one out. The pitch, ground ball up the middle. Nick Bates comes up with it, throws to first. The batter's retired.
Richards grounds to the shortstop for the second out.
And that works just as well as the sacrifice. He moves the runner along.
Now batting designated hitter Sam Stogsdill.
And that'll bring up Sam Stogsdill, the designated hitter. He is 0 for 2. He's popped up to the pitcher and struck out swinging. Runner at third. 2 out here in the top of the 5th. Here's a pitch that just misses the strike zone. Turner came in third, replacing Nick Bates. Gave up a 3-run to the first. Zills. Zills scored. But after that, Turner has held the Trojans scoreless. Here's a pitch high for a ball, and the count 3-0. 3 balls, no strikes to count to Stogsdill, but Zills on at third and 2 out. Leadoff man Seth Woolen in the on-deck circle for Maroa-Forsyth. There's the automatic strike, and the count is 3-1. Turner looks at the runner, brings home the 3-1 pitch. It's outside for a ball.
Ball 4 puts
and Stogsdill draws a base on balls.
Come on, Clayton.
First baseman Seth Woolen.
And with corners, the batter will be Seth Woolen. Woolen has singled in 3 trips to the plate, walked and scored the first run in the first inning, singled in the second, and grounded out to short. Here's a swing and a foul tip for strike 1. Started out as a bright, sunny, windy afternoon. Now it's cloudy, cooler, and not so much on the wind. Not as bad on the wind. Here's another pitch fouled off. And the count is 0-2. 7-0, Maroa-Forsyth leading Tuscola. This Okaw Valley Conference baseball game here on DouglasCountyDigest.com. The pitch on the way, runner going, throw to third, and they get him. Runners picked off at third base, and once again, Sean Martin doesn't agree with the call.
On the throw from catcher Kristen Williams.
That goes 2-5 on the putout.
That's the third out of the inning.
Woolen will lead off to start the
For the Trojans,
sixth
in their half of the fifth, they
for
had no runs on
Maroa-Forsyth.
one base hit. There was one error and one left.
No runs,
After
1 hit.
Trojans 7, Warriors nothing.
1 error, 1 left. And at the end of 4.5 innings at Irvin Park, in Tuscola to score, Maroa-Forsyth 7, Tuscola nothing. Leading off for Tuscola in the bottom half of the 5th inning is Clayton Turner, the Warrior pitcher. He'll be followed by Austin Martin and Tristan Williams. First pitch by Logan Alsop is popped up in foul territory on the first base side. And the first baseman goes over to make the catch.
Turner pops up to the first baseman. That's the first out of the inning.
1 pitch, 1 out in the home half of the
Now batting left fielder Austin Martin.
5th inning. And that'll bring up Austin Martin. Alsop has faced the minimum number of batters through 4 1/3 innings.
Come on, Amar.
13 up, 13 down. Tuscola's had a couple base runners, but they've been thrown out on the base paths. First pitch by Alsop on the way. Breaking pitch inside for ball 1. Martin lined out to right field the first time up in the 2nd inning. Warriors 2 base runners got on as a result of walks. So they're still looking for their first base hit of the day. Eight hits for Maroa-Forsyth so far. Here's the pitch from Alsop, high and outside. 3 balls, no strikes. Trojans have gone a while without allowing an opponent a base hit. There's a pitch on the inside corner for a strike. They beat Warrensburg-Latham 4-0 Tuesday on a no-hitter by shortstop Josh Ratz. Here's a line drive, and there we go. Base hit into the gap in left center field.
The base hit for Austin Martin.
Martin gets the first hit for the Warriors.
First hit of the game. Now batting catcher Tristan Williams.
And it's the first hit in about 11 1/3 innings allowed by the Maroa-Forsyth pitching staff. That'll bring up Tristan Williams, the catcher. He grounded out the 3rd in the 2nd inning. Runner at first, 1 out, bottom half of the 5th. First pitch taken for a strike. Logan Alsop, left-handed throwing freshman for Maroa-Forsyth. The Trojans 9-2 on the season, 1-0 in the conference. Here's the pitch on the way, called strike 2. And Alsop gets ahead of the Warriors' number 6 hitter. 2 strikes and nothing. Alsop looks at the runner, looks home, brings the pitch. Outside, fake throw. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count to Williams. Tucker Robinson on deck. He has 1 of the walks for the Warriors. He was wiped out on the front end of a double play in the 3rd inning. Here's the stretch by Alsop. The 1-2 pitch on the way. Off-speed pitch, high and away, and the count is even at 2-2.
Hey, let's can now. One, 3-2.
Stretch by Alsop. The 2-2 pitch home. Fouled off on the first base side, out of play.
Hey, battle in there.
And the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Maroa-Forsyth, 1 in the first, 1 run in the first, 2 in the second, 4 in the third. 2-2 to count, 1 out here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. The pitch by the left-hander, tap foul. over toward the on-deck circle. Tucker Robinson flips it back to the catcher, Cooper Hitchens, who throws it back to Alsop. Austin Martin, the runner at first, only the third base runner of the afternoon for Tuscola. He got the first hit, a one-out single to left field. Here's the pitch by Alsop. Foul down the right field line.
Hey, great job in there. Good job in there. Come on now. Finish it up. Win ball.
Heard the sickening sound of a foul ball breaking a windshield yesterday up in Champaign. Don't like to hear that sound. Count holds 2-2. Here's the pitch by Alsop. Line drive, center field. That is going to get in for a hit. So the Warriors with back-to-back singles.
That moves Martin to second.
And their runners at first and second with one out. And Josh Knight is going to run for
The courtesy runner at
the
first
catcher.
base for catcher Tristan Williams. Number 9, Josh Knight.
You can use a courtesy runner for your pitcher and catcher. Not have that count as a substitution. So Knight will be running at first. Martin is at second. One out, and the batter's Tucker Robinson, the first baseman. Stands deep in the box. Takes the first pitch high for a ball. Robinson walked to lead off the third inning and was wiped out on the front end of a 5-4-3 double play off the bat of Zach Bates, who's in the on-deck circle for the Warriors. Here's the stretch, the pitch by Alsop. Low inside for a ball. 2-0 the count. This is the first Tuscola runner to get to, I'll check that. They had a runner get as far as third in the first inning. Only the second runner to get as far as second base. Here's the pitch. Low and inside for a ball, and the count is 3-0. So Alsop struggling a bit. He's given up 2 hits, and he's gone 3-0 on the number 7 hitter, Tucker Robinson. The pitch by the left-hander on the way. Ball 4, and Robinson walks for the second time, and the bases are loaded with one out.
Center fielder Zach
And the
Bates.
batter, Zach Bates. And Sean Martin will go to the mound for a conference with his freshman pitcher. Austin Martin down at third. Josh Knight at second base, running for Williams, and Robinson on at first. One out here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. The Warriors trying to get something going against Maroa-Forsyth. "11 innings of shutout ball for the Trojans
Come on, Zima. Come on, Zima. Let's go, kid.
after Monday or Tuesday's game against Warrensburg Latham, a 4-0 victory for the Trojans. Bases loaded, one out. Bates the batter. First pitch coming from Alsop on the way. Gets high for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Runners take their leads. 7-run lead, not a critical point yet. And Bates takes the pitch on the outside corner, and the count is even at 1-1. Also looking in, goes to the stretch. Looks back, now to the plate, the pitch on the way. Fly ball down the left field line. That is going to drop in for a hit. Into the left field corner, 1 run is in. Here comes another runner to the plate. The throw not in time. Throw to third. Everybody is safe.
All right, way to go.
And the Warriors have 2 runs on the board. Runners at second and third with 1 out.
Runs with a base hit to left field.
Hey, now we go, Warriors. Now we go.
Both runners move up.
Bates doubles into the left field corner. Martin and Knight scored. Robinson went to third. I think the throw glanced off the third baseman. The throw came home. Wasn't in time to get Knight trying to score. The throw they threw to third to try to get Robinson going in. Ball glanced off of the third baseman. He's okay.
Right fielder Jackson McCrory.
And it's a 7-2 ball game. And the batter's Jackson McCrory. He fouled out to the first baseman the last time up. First pitch, taken high for a ball. McCrory fouled it off to the first base side. Out of the outfield side of the Maroa-Forsyth dugout, where it was caught by Seth Woolen in foul territory. Here's a pitch on the inside corner, and the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Robinson at third. Bates is on at second. 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Maroa-Forsyth leading 7-2. The Warriors have scored twice here in the 5th inning. Now Alsop steps off the rubber. He balked earlier in the ball game. May have balked another time, I don't know. Here's the stretch. The 1-1 pitch to McCrory, low in the dirt. Good stop by the catcher. And the count 2-1. Top of the order, due up next, Tommy Watson in the on-deck circle. Tuscola with a pair of runs here in the 5th, threatening to score some more. Here's a pop-up on the infield. Second baseman calls for it and makes the catch for the second out.
McCrory pops up to the second baseman for the second out of the inning.
So with 2 out and 2 runners on, that'll bring up Tommy Watson, the second baseman.
Batting for the Warriors, second baseman Tommy Watson.
Watson walked in the first, made it around to third and was thrown out trying to steal home. Then he grounded out to third base in the 4th inning. Comes up here in the 5th. Runners at second and third and 2 out. The pitch on the way, inside for a ball. Watson has to jump out of the way. And now the catcher, Cooper Hitchens, will go out for a word with his pitcher. Defensively, Clayton Sills is in left. Alec Martin is in center. Taylor French is in right. Blake Bryan, the third baseman. Josh Ratz at shortstop. Colin Richards at second. Seth Woolen, the first baseman. Hitchens, the catcher. And Logan Alsop, the pitcher. He's gone all the way for Maroa-Forsyth. 1-0 count. Conference is over. Here's the pitch on the way to Watson. Inside, another good stop by the catcher, Hitchens. And the count is 2-0. On deck batter, Blake Woodard. Batting for, after replacing Devin Rose defensively at third base. Here's the look by Alsop. The 2-0 pitch. Watson takes it inside for a ball. And the count is 3-0. So the Warriors with a couple runs here in the inning, threatening to load the bases. If Watson can get on by the base on balls or score some more runs if he gets a hit. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 4.
Ball 4 to Tommy Watson, loads the bases.
And Watson walks to load the bases.
Now batting third baseman Blake Woodard.
Come on, Blake. Come on, kid, jump on this thing now.
That is the fourth walk by Alsop. And they'll bring up Blake Woodard batting for the first time this afternoon. Woodard, a junior. First pitch, breaking pitch inside. That one's a little slow breaking pitch. And the count 1-0. Bases loaded, 2 out. Warriors threatening to make this a ball game here in the 5th inning. Down 7-2. The pitch on the way to Woodard. Called strike. Around the letters, and the count is even at 1-1.
Come on, Blake. Come on, Blake. Square one up. Come on, Blake.
Martin and Williams singled. Robinson walked. Bates doubled home 2 runs. Here's a breaking pitch called strike 2, and the count is 1-2. Then after a pop-up for the second out, Watson walked to load the bases, and we've got a 1-2 count now to Woodard with the bases loaded and 2 out. Alsop looks in for a sign from his catcher, Cooper Hitchens. The 1-2 pitch on the way. Fly ball, short stop goes out, takes it on the outfield grass.
On the top fly to the shortstop.
And that retires the side.
They scored 2 runs.
But Tuscola comes up with a couple runs on 3 hits.
3 left.
3 runners left on base.
Maroa-Forsyth,
And we've played 5 at Irvin Park in Tuscola. The Warriors get a couple. And that makes it Maroa-Forsyth 7 and Tuscola 2 after 5 innings. We go to the 6th inning here at Irvin Park in Tuscola. Leading off for Maroa-Forsyth will be their leadoff batter, Seth Woolen, the first baseman. First pitch by Clayton Turner is high for a ball. Turner starting his 4th inning of work in relief of Nick Bates. 1-0 pitch on the way, popped up over on the left side. Nick Bates ranging over and makes the basket catch.
Woolen's retired on a pop fly to short. Nice play
for the first out.
Bates. That's the first out.
Nick Bates ranged over toward
Now
the foul line.
Fielder Alec Martin.
Almost ran into the third baseman, Blake Woodard, but Bates made the basket catch for the first out. That'll bring up Alec Martin, the center fielder. He's been on base a couple times. He pops one out into short right field. Right fielder Jackson McCrory comes in and makes the catch.
Martin flies out to right fielder.
And they're 2 up and 2 down. So the first 2 batters in the 6th have been retired. And it'll bring up Josh Ratz, the shortstop. Ratz is 0 for 2. He's walked and scored in the 3rd inning. Turner, first pitch, high for a ball. As we said, this is the 4th inning that Turner has pitched. He came on with the bases loaded and nobody out in the top of the 3rd, gave up a 3-run double, who later scored. That's the only inherited, or the only run he's given up. Next pitch is a ball, and the count is 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 out. The pitch to Ratz. Sharp one, knocked down by Woodard. Throws to first. In time to get the batter. And for the first time in the ball game, the Maroa-Forsyth Trojans go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left. After 5.5 innings, it's Maroa-Forsyth 7, the Tuscola Warriors 2. Leading off for Tuscola in the bottom half of the 6th inning will be the shortstop, Nick Bates. He'll be followed by Clayton Turner and Austin Martin. Warriors scored 2 in the 5th inning. They trail the Trojans by a score of 7-2. Bates is 0 for 2 this afternoon, takes the first pitch low for a ball. Bates popped up to the pitcher in the 1st inning, grounded out to short in the 4th. Comes up with the bases empty to lead off the 6th inning. Logan Alsop gone all the way. Here's a ground ball right back to the pitcher. He has it, throws to first, and Bates is retired 1-3. That was a sharply hit ball.
Now batting,
but
pitcher
Alsop
Clayton Turner.
grabbed it through the first for the first out. That'll bring up Clayton Turner. Turner is 0 for 3. He's grounded back to the pitcher and fouled out to the first baseman. Alsop looks in for the sign, goes into the windup and brings home the first pitch. Called strike at the letters. Turner also participates in track and field for the Warriors. There's a shot put in discus. Here's a softly hit ground ball. Alsop comes off the mound, throws to first. Almost pulled the first baseman off the bag, but the umpire said he was on there.
Second out of the inning.
And the first two batters are retired on ground balls back to the pitcher. Turner's was hit a lot softer than Bates, but it still resulted in an out. And that'll bring up Austin Martin. Martin got things going for the Warriors in the 5th inning with a base hit. He's 1 for 2. Right-hand hitter. Alsop looks in. Here's the first pitch on the way. Slow curveball in there for a strike. Nobody on, 2 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Scheduled 7-inning ball game from Irvin Park in Tuscola. The pitch by Alsop, tap foul, and the count is 0-2. Alsop gave up 3 hits in that 5th inning, the only hits he's given up all day. He has walked 4, and he's only got 1 strikeout this afternoon. Here's another little tap. Martin out in front of that one. And the count holds at 0-2. Alsop looking in, pitching from the windup with nobody on base, and the pitch on the way. Low and outside for a ball, and the count is 1-2. Tristan Williams on deck. Nobody on for the Warriors here in the bottom half of the 6th. Down by 5. The pitch on the way. That one got away. And the count now is 2-2. With 2 out, I guess I missed something. I think they just asked after I said what the count was. Okay. My voice is loud, but it doesn't carry that far. Next pitch in the dirt, and the count is 3-2. So Martin goes from down 0-2 to a full count in his favor with nobody on. Alsop looks in, takes his time, and brings home the 3-2 pitch. Tap fouled behind the plate. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat for Martin. And the pitch on the way by Alsop. Fly ball, right center field. That's curling. And that is off the wall. Center fielder, one of the outfielders is down. Martin goes to third, and he's in there standing up. And Maroa-Forsyth has somebody down. The center fielder and the right fielder went into the gap in right center to try to catch that. They collided, and the ball dropped in for a triple for Austin Martin. And I believe that's the center fielder, Alec Martin, that was shaken up. He's on his feet now. Sean Martin, the head coach for the Trojans, out to check on his center fielder. He's, like I said, he's on his feet, but he's bending over, trying to get his bearings. It was a high fly ball out to the 315 sign in right center field. Thought it might have a chance to go out, but just glanced off the fence. And it looks like Alec Martin is going to be okay. He's going to stay in the ball game. And the batter will be Tristan Williams. Williams has a base hit and 2 times at the plate.
Batting for the Warriors, catcher Tristan Williams.
Now Sean Martin is going to go out to the mound, and we may have a pitching change. We'll see what he's going to do as he goes out to talk to his freshman pitcher, who's gone 5 2/3 innings, giving up a couple runs on 4 hits so far. He's going to stay in. At least the meeting is broken up, and Martin's going back to the dugout as they turn on the lights here at Irvin Park. Williams at the plate. Austin Martin on at third with 2 out here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. And the Warriors down by 5 as they come down to their final 4 outs. Also from the stretch, the pitch called strike on the outside corner at the letters. And the count is 0-1. Maroa-Forsyth 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 4 in the third. Tuscola with 2 runs in the 5th inning. Here's the pitch to Williams. Breaking pitch inside. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Tucker Robinson in the on-deck circle should Williams get aboard. Here's the stretch by Alsop. And the pitch on the way. Inside for a ball. And the count is 2-1 to the Warrior catcher, senior Tristan Williams. Martin takes the lead off third. The stretch by Alsop and the pitch called strike 2. And the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nick Bates and Clayton Turner started the inning by grounding back to the pitcher. Martin tripled to right center field. And now Williams has a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Alsop to the belt. The 2-2 pitch comes home to Williams. Ground ball out to short. Big hop. And Rats can't make the play. And a run scores.
For Tristan Williams drives home Austin Martin with a run.
And it's now a 7-3 ball game. That looked like it was going to be handled easily, but then it took a big hop just before it got to Rats. Ended up on his shoulder. So it's going to be a base hit for Williams. And it'll bring up Tucker Robinson with a run in and a runner on. And 2 out here in the 6th inning. Robinson has walked twice. Was wiped out in a double play in the 3rd inning. Was stranded at 3rd in the 5th. Takes the first pitch for a ball. I don't think he's seen a strike this afternoon. He walked on 4 pitches both times. Here's the pitch on the way. Called strike. There you go, the announcer's jinx. And the count is 1-1 to the Warrior first baseman, Tucker Robinson. Alsop looks at the runner, brings the pitch home. Called strike 2. Robinson started to pull the trigger, held up. And it was a called strike. Now the count 1-2 with 2 out.
Come on, kid, here we go.
Alsop looks in, goes to the belt. Checks the runner. Short lead at first. The pitch. Swung out and missed, strike 3.
Strike 3 swinging.
And the Warriors get a run, but they're still down by 4 as we head to the 7th inning.
There were no errors and
1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left. And the score after 6 innings, it's Maroa-Forsyth 7 and the Tuscola Warriors 3.
Cooper Hitchens.
We go to the 7th inning at Irvin Park in Tuscola. Maroa-Forsyth leading the Warriors by a score of 7-3. Leading off for the Trojans in the 7th will be the catcher, Cooper Hitchens. He'll be followed by Taylor Frank and Clayton Zills. First pitch in there for a strike from Clayton Turner. Hitchens has struck out, singled and scored, and popped up to the shortstop. 0-1 pitch on the way from Turner. Fisted down the left field line for a base hit. Kind of got jammed, but he managed to get that over the third baseman's head into short left field.
Now batting right fielder Taylor Frank.
And they'll bring up Taylor Frank. Got a courtesy runner, and it is Brock Elliott.
We have a courtesy runner at first base for catcher Cooper Hitchens. Number 11, Brock
running
Elliott.
For the catcher. He did that back in the 3rd inning. In fact, he scored the run after Hitchens got on with a base hit. Elliott took over to run and scored for Maroa-Forsyth. Here's a pitch to Taylor Frank, goes back to the backstop. They try to throw to get him out, but he makes it in. And the wild pitch puts the runner in scoring position. Frank is 2 for 3. Singled in the 1st and in the 3rd, scored a run in the 3rd inning, and then grounded out to short. Runner at 2nd, nobody out here in the top of the 7th. Pitch by Turner, low and away for a ball, and the count is 2-0. 5th inning of work for Clayton Turner in relief of Nick Bates. Bates gave up 6. Turner has given up 1 so far. Here's a pitch, just misses inside, and the count is 3-0. That was the 3rd hit given up by Turner, that base hit by Hitchens. Here's a pitch called for a strike, and the count is 3-1. Clayton Zills in the on-deck circle. He's had a good day, been on base 3 times, scored a couple runs, driven in 3. Here's the pitch, ground ball into the hole in left field. Left fielder comes up with it. Hitchens,
left field,
or rather Elliott,
at first and 3rd.
Stops at 3rd.
Now batting left fielder Clayton Zills.
So the runners at the corners. And nobody out. The batter will be Clayton Zills, the left fielder. Maroa-Forsyth trying to get back some of the runs they gave up to the Warriors in the last 2 innings. First pitch to Zills, hit high to left center field. Zach Bates is there to make the catch. Elliott will tag and score standing up.
Zills gets the RBI sacrifice fly to center field.
And Zills drives in a run.
Third as the first out of the inning. Now batting 3rd baseman.
And that makes it an 8-3 ball game with 1 out. Here in the top of the 7th. Blake Bryan up next for the Trojans. He's reached base twice on a single and a fielder's choice. First pitch is low for a ball. Left-handed hitter, Blake Bryan, Jr., 3rd baseman for the Maroa-Forsyth Trojans, looking to win their 10th game of the season. Here's a pitch low. They also trying to go 2-0 in the Okaw Valley Conference. The stretch by Turner, look at the runner at first. Pitch is low and away for a ball, and the count is 3-0. 3 balls, no strikes to count to to Bryan. Runner at first, 1 out. There's a pitch called for a strike, and the count is 3-1. Couple hits, a wild pitch, and a sacrifice fly. Here's another pitch called for a strike, and the count is 3-2. That's how Maroa-Forsyth has scored their run here in the 7th inning. The pitch by Turner. Line drive back up the middle. And everybody moves up 90 feet.
Center for Bryan, puts runners at first and second. Now batting second baseman Colin Richards.
That whistled right past the head of Clayton Turner. Frank moves up to second. Bryan on at first with 1 out. And the batter's Colin Richards. Just heard Sean Martin say to Richards, do what you're good at. I think there could be a sacrifice coming up here. Takes the first pitch for a strike. He's done that twice this afternoon. Third time he grounded to shortstop, but still moved the runners up. So it accomplished the same goal. Here's a bunt attempt, foul. Umpire almost had it. And the count is 0-2. Richard tried to bunt, bunted it foul. And the count is 0-2. Here's a stretch by Turner. The 0-2 pitch on the way, swung on and missed. Strike 3.
Strike 3, swinging for the second out of the inning.
So Richards goes down swinging.
That brings up designated hitter Sam Stogsdill.
That is the second strikeout for Clayton Turner. And it brings up Sam Stogsdill, the designated hitter. He's 0 for 2, popped up to the pitcher, struck out and walked. First pitch called strike. First 3 batters for Tuscola in the bottom of the 7th. 8, 9, and 1 hitters, Zach Bates, McCrory, and Watson. Here's a line drive right back to the pitcher. Turner grabs it in self-defense. And that's the end of the inning. But the Maroa-Forsyth Trojans pick up a run on 3 hits.
3 base hits.
No errors and 2 runners left. Warriors need 5 to tie, 6 to win. We go to the bottom of the 7th with the Trojans leading by a score of 8-3. Pitching change for Maroa-Forsyth here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Alec Martin is going to move in from center field to take over on the mound. He's a right-hander, and the first batter he faces is Zach Bates. And the first pitch is a strike. The starting pitcher, Logan Alsop, goes to first base, and Seth Woolen moves from first base to center field. Bates is 1 for 2 this afternoon. Grounded into a double play in the 3rd and doubled down into the left field corner in the 5th inning when Tuscola scored 2 runs. Ball and a strike to count to Zach Bates. The pitch on the way. That's in the dirt. And the count is 2 balls and a strike. So Alsop goes 6 innings, gives up 3 runs, and 5 hits. Next pitch back to the screen. And the count is 3-1. Nobody on, nobody out, just underway in the bottom of the 7th. Here's a pitch called strike, and the count is full at 3-2. Logan Alsop in line to get the pitching victory. Here's a pitch fouled back behind the plate as Zach Bates tries to stay alive. And the count is 3-2. with Jackson McCrory in the on-deck circle. Alec Martin pitching from the windup. Here's a ground ball to short. Rats picks it up and throws him out for the first out.
Retired for the first out on a ground ball to short.
So 1 up, 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. That'll bring up Jackson McCrory. He's popped up on the infield twice.
Fielder, Jackson McCrory.
Fouled out to the first baseman in the 3rd. Popped up to the second baseman in the 5th inning. First pitch called strike. Maroa-Forsyth got out to a 7-0 lead before Tuscola picked up 2 runs in the 5th and 1 in the 6th. And then the Trojans got another run in the top of the 7th. And that's where we stand right now. The Warriors down by 5. Wind up by Martin, the pitch on the way. Popped up on the infield. Second baseman calling for it. And he makes the catch for the second out of the inning.
That's the second out of the inning.
And the Warriors are down to their last out of the ball game. And that'll be the second baseman, Tommy Watson. He's walked twice and grounded to 3rd. So officially, he's 0 for 1. Watson, right-hand hitting junior, second baseman. For the Warriors, first pitch on the way from Martin, called strike 1. Tuscola with 3 runs on 5 hits. They've left 4 runners stranded. Didn't get things going until late in the ball game. Here's a pitch in the dirt for a ball, and the count is even at 1-1. Looks like Devin Rose getting ready in the on-deck circle. He'll re-enter. There's a little tapper back to the mound. That'll do it. Martin picks up the ball and throws it to first, and that's the end of the ball game. Maroa-Forsyth comes up with the victory to go 2-0 in the conference, and 2-0 in the conference, 10-2 overall. Tuscola goes to 6-7 overall, 0-2 in conference play. For Maroa-Forsyth, 8 runs, 11 hits, no errors, 7 runners left. For the Tuscola Warriors, 3 runs, 5 hits, 4 errors, 4 runners left. Winning pitcher is Logan Alsop. Losing pitcher for Tuscola was the starter, Nick Bates. That will do it for this baseball game on DouglasCountyDigest.com. We hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. For DouglasCountyDigest.com, this is Alan Patton saying thanks for being with us. And we'll talk to you again soon during the high school baseball season on DouglasCountyDigest.com.